You were elected 2 weeks ago. Why do you think you have not been sworn in by the Republican Speaker of the House yet? There are some Democrats saying this has to do with the Epstein files.
I am going to be the 218th signer to the discharge petition. So that is the only thing that most people are pointing to.
We have Congresswoman Adelite Grijalva, who just won a special election 2 weeks ago, but has not been sworn in by Mike Johnson, seemingly in an act to prevent the release of the Epstein files, on CNN to discuss this and more. So strap in, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton, gets us out there to more people. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's get right to the content.
You were elected 2 weeks ago. Why do you think you have not been sworn in by the Republican Speaker of the House yet?
You know, in general, I try not to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, okay, there has to be some plausible explanation. But in my case, this Speaker Johnson, has sworn in 3 other members of Congress that were elected in a special. And 2 of them were Republican, April 1st. And they were sworn in April 2nd in a pro forma session.
I mean, it is weird that multiple Republicans get sworn in, no problems, no questions asked, no hesitancy. Even a Democrat with little problem when it was just a formality because months ago, you know, there's nothing that there's a tie-breaking vote on. But now that the margins are what they are, a couple Republicans are willing to vote with Democrats to release the Epstein files, so Democrats only need 1 more vote. All of a sudden, there's all these unforeseen issues to getting this woman sworn in. At minimum, hell of a coincidence, right? Which MAGA shouldn't believe in, because to them, every coincidence under Biden was proof of some larger conspiracy. Remember Michael Colangelo, right? Even when it wasn't actually a coincidence, like Michael Colangelo. But the timing, I think, is pretty damning as to what the intentions are, right?
There are some Democrats saying this has to do with the Epstein files. Are you hearing that? And what's your sense?
I am hearing that. And I am going to be the 218th signer to the discharge petition. So that is the only thing that most people are pointing to. I mean, I am a woman of color, a Chicana from Tucson. None of those factors, I don't think, are reasons why I wouldn't be being sworn in, other than pointing to the Epstein files and the complete lack of transparency from this administration in releasing those files. The other is Speaker Johnson has closed down votes in the recent past to avoid a vote on the Epstein files. So there does seem to be a connection.
I mean, it just goes to show that only one party is being for real about releasing these files, regardless of who it may incriminate, because the victims should come first, and that's Democrats. They're the only people who care about the victims. Bringing down something like this also obviously should come first because of potential future victims. And then, like, what party only latched onto this as a campaign thing, which is MAGA? It's Republicans. They just felt it helped them attack Democrats. They literally only cared about it politically. Like, that is how morally bankrupt these people are. They only care about an elite PDF file ring politically. And the second they realize their supreme leader is almost definitely incriminated all throughout them, as he had a close personal relationship with this PDF file, included sending him sexual letters, talking about every day as a secret, and all of this kind of gross stuff that just MAGA doesn't even care about, right? Even they cared so much about the Epstein files, doesn't matter anymore. Well, now all of a sudden, they don't want to talk about it. We've had over what, like 6 or 7 Democrat resolutions put forth to release them, all shot down by MAGA, and now this blatant act as well. I mean, the jig is up.
The Department of Homeland Security had calling American cities war zones that need saving. How do you see it?
Yeah. So I live here. My district has 3 ports of entry with Mexico, some of the safest communities. Statistically, nationally, this escalation of violence should scare all of us. Trump is turning our National Guard and ICE against its own people. And when you are declaring war on your own cities, this is where we're going to have some huge conflicts that we've seen play out on video. My colleagues from different parts of the nation are sending in appeals to, like, let's keep the peace. And nobody is asking for this intervention. I believe that this is just Trump stirring up some drama for the midterms.
I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that this sort of inhumanity around the treatment of migrants is back escalating back in the MAGA mainstream as we head into midterm season. I think MAGA and Trump have calculated only a few paths that they have that they can really take to any sort of electoral success, and courting the races and mobilizing them as voting blocks is unfortunately one of those few paths that they do have, which necessitates this sort of targeting of brown people happening in Black and brown communities that are predominantly populated by these kinds of people. It's part of a larger system ones conservatives have pushed for decades. It's now just playing out in this new elaborate way, as it would have to, where at least we see even Trump-appointed judges in the court system doing all they can to fight back against these injustices, which Trump then calls them woke radicals, even though he appointed them, which just kind of gives the game away, right?